Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine show presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of Navy athletics. I'm now joined by Navy men's basketball junior Jinwoo Kim. Jinwoo, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Hey Tim, thanks for having me this morning.
Welcome back to Annapolis. By the way, 3 games in 4 days down at UNC Wilmington. What's your overall assessment of where the team is right now coming back here to home at 4-4?
It was definitely great to be with the team in Wilmington for a couple of days and spend time with them. Really close-knit group. Played some good competition as well. We played a tournament team, UNCW. They're obviously a great team. I definitely think our team is strong right now. There's definitely a lot we learned from that trip, playing different teams that are out of conference, obviously. So just taking those lessons learned, and now that we're in December now, just applying that as we got, two more big games this week with Air Force on Sunday and Delaware State on Wednesday. So just gotta clean up what we learned from Wilmington and then apply that to those games this week.
What have you learned most about yourself making this jump from being a sophomore to now one of the upperclassmen leaders of this team?
Yeah, I definitely have learned a lot about myself, I'd say, over the last year. My freshman year, I tore my meniscus early on in the season, so I really didn't get my freshman year. So all of last year was me basically trying to get get adapted to the game, to like the speed and the level and everything. And I think there's been a big jump from my sophomore to junior year now. Definitely feel confident. My teammates and my coaches obviously trust in me. So just trying to step into that leadership role now too as a junior. Um, has been great. So I definitely think sophomore year to junior year has been a big grow or been big year of development for me.
You've also been a guy that has quickly shown that your teammates can trust you against the toughest test this season. We go back to that Yale game. You lead your team in scoring with 16 points. You dropped 25 at Penn State. You also hung 16 on UNC Wilmington, which, as you mentioned, goes to the tournament last year. They played Texas Tech. How do you find your best against what seems to be the best competition you guys play each and every night?
Yeah, I definitely think when we play these better teams, these tournament teams, I love the big stage. I love playing against these great teams. These are the teams we want to see in March, obviously. So I look at those games as big tests for us, or as for me individually as well, to see, I want to prove myself out there, obviously, against these teams. And then obviously my teammates have like tremendous trust for me as well. They keep telling me to shoot the ball. They keep trying to find me when I'm open. So definitely very thankful for my teammates as well, trying to find me.
Yeah, you also grew up with a top scorer and Hope, who's playing some soccer over at St. Louis. How
Mhm.
much did that sibling rivalry fuel the athlete you are today?
I think it was great, growing up with her, always, in the backyard or on the court, playing with each other. She's obviously a super good athlete, so we always pushed each other. We're going to be big brother, right? But she's always been a good athlete, and she always kind of pushed that competitive edge onto me and me onto her as well.
And she also chose to stay closer to home in Overland Park, Kansas, going to St. Louis, playing with the Billikens. Why did you come all the way east to play for Navy?
Yeah, it's she chose home obviously. I think it's a little different for her. She had a lot of like Power Five offers and she ultimately chose to stay in St. Louis close to the parents. She felt like that was best for her. She felt most connected with the coaches there. And it was the same thing for me, just mine happened to be in Annapolis, Maryland and not near Kansas. I just felt really close with the staff here. Coach Perry and I are very close. I think the first time I stepped on the yard here, I told my parents, I was like, yeah, this is the place I want to go. So I think it was like more of just I fell in love with the place right away, and it's really stuck with me ever since.
I got a chance to ask you this after the Yale game, but how is Coach John Perry doing? He's been everywhere in the game of basketball. He's learned so much under Coach Ed DeChellis, but now he's running the show. What's really impressed you about the way that he handles his business?
I think his dedication to the game, on and off the court, he has a lot on his plate. First of all, just dealing with the basketball side of things, and then also having to deal with our schedules, being in Bancroft, school and classes. So he has a lot to juggle with and deal with, and I'm very impressed with how he's managing it all.
You talk about handling it out. How about Aiden Kho underneath? The guy's practically averaging a double-double right now. He's been a machine so far this season. What do you think he's unlocked down low that's allowed him to take his game to get another level this year?
Yeah, Aiden has worked. I've seen him off the court work tremendously hard in the offseason, before and after practice, just staying with the coaches or staying by himself, getting extra reps and sets in. He definitely has a dedication to the game. And he's definitely fulfilled that role that he knows like he's one of the main guys and we need to rely on him and trust him. So definitely, I think his mindset has shifted from the last 2 years before this to like really stepping into that leadership role, that senior role on our team.
Gina, your team has played a bear of a non-conference schedule. It's no secret to you. You go to Chapel Hill. You've played at Penn State. You also get to take on two other preseason favorites in both UNC Wilmington and Yale earlier this season. How do those matchups make you better as you get closer and closer to conference play?
Yeah, those teams are the teams, like I said earlier, we want to see in March later on. And they've proven themselves in the past. And these are like great tests for us. And I think our team has proven that we can compete with these teams. Um, and they're only going to make us better for when we get into conference play and play teams in our league. So I think it's great that we had this, like we had a very tough but like very good non-conference schedule.
This road trip will finally come to a close pretty soon here. But first, you go up to Dover. You play at Delaware State. How did your team come away with the victory against the Hornets?
We really gotta scout them out, and know what they're about. But at the same time, I think we gotta focus on ourselves and re have really like 2 good days of practice coming up here on Monday and Tuesday, and get ready for them. We want to clean up any mistakes we learned from Wilmington. We need to sharpen up our defense, get some shots up. Make sure that I think on the road we should be fine against them.
We're also talking to you because you invite Air Force to your place on Sunday. Just the second time these two programs will get together. How special is it that you get to play that game on December 7th and get to do it at your place in Alumni Hall?
It's definitely a little surreal because in all my time here and then the year before when I was getting recruited, there was never like an Air Force game or anything. So it's definitely awesome to have our kind of like our own basketball commander in chiefs, competition. It's gonna be great to, play those guys, those cadets out there. Um, and then yeah, tremendous respect for the Air Force Academy too. They're gonna come out here. It's gonna be a great battle, I think, and it's gonna be a super fun, packed environment.
Gino, I know this won't be the last time we're talking this season, but I need to know before we get out of here, what's an individual goal that you have for the rest of your junior season?
Individual goal, I think, is just to keep my confidence high when I'm shooting threes, whether they're falling or not. I think that's a big thing for me. Just going out there, not afraid to play with mistakes or just playing hard and aggressive. That's definitely number one on my mind. Just trying to produce for the team.
Awesome, Gino. Good luck against Dell State. We'll see you back here on Sunday against Air Force, and thank you for your time.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You have been listening to the Navy Sports Magazine Show, presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of Navy athletics.